This is the live virtual class, and I can also benefit from virtual classes by coming here and recording a specific lesson for the student, right? I can set up a recording for the student and then remind them in the tasks, for example, that there's a specific recording they should watch that talks about a certain topic. That's also one of the things. But we also have something important called the discussion blog. There's something important called the discussion blog. I have something called the discussion blog or the discussion board. And what is it? It's like if I open it up. As you see, it's a forum. This forum is for discussions. Inside this forum, when clicked, you'll notice that there are messages. You'll see there are topics, research methodology, and problem identification. The idea is the student comes in and accesses the forum, or you can give it any name that pertains to any specific thing and the faces of this forum, meaning when we come and click on the forum like this, you will notice that there are messages. Meaning if I came here and looked at the blog here like this, all right, when I clicked on the blog, you'll see topics, research methodology, and problem identification. The student enters the forum, finds topics I posted, and can post messages. I respond to them. You'll see the author of messages and 2 unread ones. How many replies? Total messages. You can check research methodology replies or foundations at Al-Qasim University. The student can respond and write replies. The student enters the forum and finds a set of topics. They post their message, and I respond to them. Notice the author of the message. There are 2 unread messages. How many replies have come in? What's the total number of messages? You can go from here to the research methodology and see the replies or what the foundations are for, I don't know, at Al-Qasim University regarding research methodology. The student can reply anytime, anywhere. I can enter this forum, check the topics, and see how the student has responded. Then I can start replying to them. This is asynchronous communication. How many replies have come in? What's the total number of messages? You can go from here to the research methodology and see the replies or what the foundations are for, I don't know, at Al-Qasim University regarding research methodology. The student can reply anytime, anywhere. I can enter this forum, check the topics, and see how the student has responded. Then I can start replying to them. This is asynchronous communication. The student starts to write their reply, and so at any time, whether I'm in the office or at home, I can enter this forum, check the topics, and see how the student has responded. Then I can start replying to them. So this is also a form of asynchronous interaction and communication. So the idea is that you'll find here you have the discussion blog, which is one of the elements that you will find available. It must be there. But when you enter the forum, you need to create something called a message thread. A message thread, exactly like that. This research methodology or this topic is a series of messages. All right? Problem identification is a series of messages. So if I come here now, I can create a message thread. All right, I'm going to write the title. All right, and I'll write, for example, in the title, I'll call it the third topic. I'm writing the third topic here. Of course, I can write any topic and then write the message below. Here, I'll write the message that I want to direct to the student so that the student can start responding based on the message I've outlined here, right? And then I'd like to attach a file for the student. Attach any file so the student can benefit from it. I'll attach the file, no problem, and then send it. So now I've added a third topic. And I'm the author, and I have the number of messages here. As you can see, 0. There are no unread messages. 0. There's just one message. And that one message is the one that was created when I set up this thread. This series. What is this message? What is this message? So now what do we have? As you can see, this is the title. The title of the message. This is the message. This is a file. The student starts to log in from their end and write a reply. All right, they reply here. And you start to log in from here. And you also do the reply. This is the reply. And you start writing the reply to the message here. No problem at all. You can place here, even if you want to attach a picture, you can upload local files. You can upload pictures here, no problem. And I also have a file preview and then send it. So you can also add a reply to the message. So the forum is also a very important opportunity and a very important means of interaction and communication with the student. To facilitate interaction and communication with them. So you will notice that this discussion blog will be available. Now, God willing, I think it's time for the Maghrib prayer, right? Or do you all think it's time for Maghrib? So before we head out for the Maghrib prayer, do you have is there any question at this moment before we perform the Maghrib prayer? Any inquiries? Welcome again, and God willing, we'll continue our session today on using the Blackboard system in graduate studies. We'll see how to benefit from its tools. I'm checking if there are any questions or issues regarding what we covered before the Maghrib prayer, whether about virtual classrooms or managing assignments for graduate students to track them, whether not started, in progress, or completed. We also looked at the discussion board and how to create a content area to share resources and references for research. We discussed the importance of documentation and communication, whether it's about what we saw in the virtual classrooms or how we manage assignments to track them. We also looked at the forum and we saw how we can share research resources. We talked about how documentation and communication are crucial. We also saw the discussion board or forum, and we looked at how we can create a content area and share some resources and references related to research so that the researcher can start looking into them. We talked about how documentation and communication are very important in this regard. And now let's see together, God willing, for example, as you can see here, the thesis course. We mentioned that we have some links available, and there are lists for the discussion board, periodic meetings for virtual classrooms or direct meetings, academic advisors, and many other resources. But there are also a set of communication tools. And now let's take a look together, God willing, at, for example, as you can see here, the thesis course, for instance. We mentioned some links, and there are lists for the discussion board, periodic meetings for virtual classrooms, advisors, and communication tools, essential between the supervisor, advisor, and student. Notice I have a circle with a plus sign. This circle is a content area. Here I can add an item or a link or create a task. The task is to facilitate communication between the supervisor, the advisor, and the student. We discussed this part and will add communication tools. Notice the circle with a plus sign. This circle represents a content area. Through it, I added an item, link, or created an assignment task. I can create a test here. We will soon see how to create a test quickly. We looked at web links. If I have an external link, like a YouTube video or OneDrive file, I can use it. Earlier, I mentioned a content area where I can add items, links, or create assignments and tests. We'll soon see how to create a test quickly. We also explored web links for external resources like YouTube videos or OneDrive files linked to my university email. Tool links are crucial as they contain essential tools such as tasks and announcements, which we utilize. And I can also create a test from here. We'll see shortly how to create a test in a simple and quick way, God willing. We also looked at web links. If I have an external link, like a video on YouTube, or a file on OneDrive associated with my university email, or any link I want to use, I can benefit from the web link. We also saw something called tool links, and tool links are very important because they contain essential tools that we can benefit from. For example, we found something called the assignments here. We took assignments from here and used them as well. You will notice that I have important tools here, like announcements. Announcements are very important within the course I have within the course. Announcements are also a way for me to inform the student about something specific. The student can keep track of the things I need through the announcements.